Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't dub it on, yo. I'm not paying. Challenge.
Well, you get this one, man.
Ain't no jumping out.
When Joe Rogan got a look at Gervonta Tank Davis's newly bulked up physique ahead of the Jake Paul fight, his reaction was classic Rogan, a mix of astonishment and analytical curiosity. That familiar blend of excitement and scientific breakdown that fans instantly recognize.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. But he finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
On his podcast, Joe Rogan didn't bother sugarcoating his reaction. After watching Tank's latest training footage, he exclaimed, "Dude looks like he's been built in a powerlifting lab." And he wasn't exaggerating. Tank's shoulders looked massive, his traps sat high like a bull ready to charge, and his entire frame appeared far thicker than it did before the Ryan Garcia fight. Rogan then broke it all down in classic fashion, analyzing how the added muscle might actually enhance Tank's explosiveness, speculating that his punch velocity and hip torque could increase rather than slow down with the extra mass.
It's interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
But the real spark came when Joe drew comparisons between Tank and a modern-day Mike Tyson, only this time powered by cutting-edge training science. He said Tank isn't built just to box. He's built to detonate. Rogan even tossed a playful jab at Jake Paul, remarking, "If Jake thinks this version of Tank is showing up to win on points, he's out of his mind. That dude's coming to end it early." You could hear the respect in Rogan's voice. He admires fighters who evolve, who rebuild themselves to make a statement. And this version of Gervonta Davis feels exactly like that. Evolution in its most explosive form. As Rogan put it best, this isn't Tank Davis 2.0. This is Tank Davis unleashed.
You know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
After Joe Rogan's full-on breakdown, practically crowning Tank a modern-day Mike Tyson on steroids, the spotlight shifts to Wade Plemons. Analysis and things get even more intense. You can tell this isn't just for show. There's real strategy at play. Calvin Ford, Tank's longtime coach, looks like a mad scientist in the corner, clipboard in hand, dissecting every Jake Paul habit and every potential "that could hurt me" moment. This isn't casual sparring. This is Tank refining the blueprint. Every session, every angle, every move is calculated. He's not just training. He's programming himself for one outcome only: total domination.
Ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we had hiccups in life.
When I say Tank is zeroing in on the body, I don't mean light conditioning, I mean surgical work. He's carving Jake up like a butcher, forcing every forward step to feel like walking through molasses. Watch the footage and it's obvious. Tank isn't just bigger or stronger, he's smarter. Calvin Ford isn't preaching wild haymakers. This is a chess match. The game plan is simple. Make the 60-pound size advantage cost every inch of reach the bigger man thinks he owns.
Guy that's targeting the body. And it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to
Can already picture it. Tank's rapid-fire shot for Netflix. This is Tank Davis plotting a takeover. And you better believe, he's ready to expose every single crack in Jake Paul's armor.
ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt it.
And just when we thought Calvin Ford's honesty was wild, here comes Lamont Roach Sr. dropping straight up boardroom smoke on Gervonta Davis's business moves. The man didn't throw punches, he threw contracts. He basically said Tank skipped a rematch and sprinted toward Netflix like, forget honor, I'm chasing algorithms. And honestly, he's not entirely wrong. This Jake Paul fight feels like boxing took a sharp left turn straight into a YouTube thumbnail. Like, imagine trying to explain this to an old school fight fan. Yeah, bro, Tank Davis is fighting the guy who used to prank people at Target.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters that take time out of their life, train, get their coaches and their sparring partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career. And it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next for us.
But here's where it gets funny. Roach didn't sugarcoat a thing. He basically said, you can't just break business and bounce for a bigger check. And I'm sitting there thinking, bro, tell that to half of Hollywood and every influencer with a boxing license. Still, he's got a point. If Tank really ditched that rematch for Jake Paul, that's like skipping the NBA Finals to go play in a celebrity 3-on-3 game. Sure, you'll get the bag, but your legacy's definitely giving you the side eye. Now, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul can punch. But Tank's built like a pocket nuke with gloves on. This isn't content creation, and this is career destruction. And if Jake walks in thinking it's just another influencer exhibition, he's about to find out fast. Tank Davis doesn't do collabs. He does consequences.
Tank is just so much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's going to find out, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight, so I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work. Yeah. He ducked that work.
Tank didn't just dodge the rematch. He swerved straight into the Jake Paul circus like it was Coachella. And the best part? Roach called it for what it is. Pure comedy. Like, imagine grinding your entire life for a world title, only to watch the guy who beat you headline an influencer brawl where the biggest storyline is glove size. You could feel Roach's frustration. This is a man who wanted smoke in the ring. Not Tank chasing clicks on Netflix. And listen, I get it. The Jake Paul fight has dollar signs spinning around it like a Vegas slot machine. But legacy? Legacy doesn't live on TikTok. If Tank's really calling it quits after Jake, that's like a superhero retiring mid-series just because the merch sold out. Jake Paul's 200 pounds of content creation, and Tank's built like a guided missile. This fight's either going to be the shortest main event in history, or the biggest marketing masterclass since Logan boxed a weather app. Either way, boxing officially took a detour from HBO drama to YouTube reality show overnight. But hey, we'll all still tune in. Because when Tank Davis steps into that ring with Jake Paul, one thing's guaranteed: something viral, something violent, and something very, very expensive is about to go down.
Get that rematch fight versus Gervonta after this fight?
Who knows? He said he's retiring. I believe him. Honestly, I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire.
You think he'll retire after the exhibition match?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because we get scared.
Here's the wild part. Man, this fight feels less like a sporting event and more like a social experiment disguised as a main event. You've got Jake Paul, the internet's golden boy of chaos, stepping into the same ring as Gervonta Tank Davis, a fighter molded in the gritty boxing trenches of Baltimore. It's influencer culture versus fighter mentality, the algorithm versus the art form. And the craziest part? Both of them need this. Jake's chasing legitimacy, Tank's chasing legacy, but outside the same old boxing bubble. It's like two worlds colliding just to see which one bends first. Here's my hot take. If Tank lands clean, that's not just a knockout. That's a cultural reset. That's the night boxing takes the internet back from the influencers. But if Jake somehow survives, even pushes Tank into the deep waters of the later rounds, oh buddy. We might be witnessing the birth of the most hated success story in combat sports history. Either way, this isn't just a fight. It's a war for the spotlight, a battle to decide who really runs the show in the new era of boxing.
Jake Paul and Gervonta fight. The ounces on the gloves, 12 ounce, and then, Calvin was asking to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. I really don't care. I don't care about their fight.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, oh, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. Nope. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time.
There it is. One's chasing greatness, the other's chasing validation, but both are gambling with everything that makes them who they are. When those gloves touch, it won't just be a fight. It'll be the moment boxing finds out if authenticity still beats the algorithm. Because either Tank's about to remind the internet what real power looks like, or Jake's about to pull off the biggest plot twist since McGregor versus Mayweather. But what do you think? Is Tank about to drop Jake faster than hotel Wi-Fi? Or is Jake really built to survive that Baltimore smoke? Drop your thoughts below, debate it, roast it, defend it. I want to hear all of it. And yo, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxer's Corner, the home of real talk, wild takes, and zero filters. I'll see you in the next one.